entire league this split for the North American LCS. Meanwhile, we also had Demonte, on the line yesterday, and he was talking about Bjergsen is still the best mid laner, and he's really looking forward to going up against him and proving himself against this kind of icon that we've got in the North American LCS.
Still putting praise towards that mid lane of TSM. Bjergsen never likes to answer the question. He's like, everybody's always doing great, but he always pushes himself to actually be near the top of that list, and the players know it. They will even say it. 3 bans in for TSM and 1 final here for Echo Fox.
Feeling a Nocturne Riv?
I think so.
That would be the most common.
Yeah.
There we go. We got all of the superpower picks that have really become kind of standard bans there. And now it's just about what sort of initiation are you prioritizing. I like Rakan early because you can threaten a Xayah funnel, having Xayah in the mid lane and Rakan trying to get her more money through the jungle and those mid lane minions. Or you can literally just play a standard bottom lane with the Xayah Rakan, or even a different marksman and Rakan.
Will it be damage for Dardoch? That Graves would be going in. Like Huni's going to pick that one up, may get something for the top lane, or might already just put that support in so they don't get pinched coming out of the first phase. 20 seconds left here for Echo Fox. What do they decide to pick?
I always love when people get kind of these signature champions for them. We saw Acadian yesterday on the Graves, and he's a guy who had played tons of Graves, top lane, in the jungle, all over the place, put hours and hours and hours in on that champion, and you can see it on stage. Even if it's been a long time since he's played it, they look so smooth with their animation canceling. They have every single combo down, and Dardoch is another one of those guys that has put tons of hours into Graves, so I always like to see when these guys can get their hands on that champion, and bringing up the possibility of having them with Smite or, funneling them mid. Graves is a possible champion for, putting a lot of money on early as well, because he can actually be very effective building crit as well. We talk about your funnel champ is usually something that you want to scale really well so that the money's going to a good place. And a lot of the changes a while ago to Graves were really empowering the crits and having a lot of damage come through if you go that style. Of course, you can also still just go, the flat damage style and lethality for some early bursts.
Whatever they have, they're going to be able to be up in the face of TSM with Galio coming in on that heroic entrance as well. Lucian getting locked in, so we already get the AD within this composition. What are they going to be able to round it out with? And maybe more AD, who knows, in this current meta. 14 seconds as the second ban phase starts, and the first one actually hits up Ashe from Echo Fox.
And so far, we are seeing these teams draft according to those styles that we kind of mentioned in the intros here. Echo Fox already 2 short-range AD carries looking to get into the mix like you're talking about. They have a Galio to kind of give them some space, a little bit of zoning in the team fight, add some more comfort for picking up skirmishes as well before they even get to the team fight phase. Lucian, very strong lane, whether he is bottom or they decide to swap him somewhere else. Probably will be bottom there for Altec, but also Dardoch on the Graves will be able to pick those skirmishes. Meanwhile, TSM, they are stacking up a much more kind of standard and very strong and comfortable 5v5 setup here. Mundo, one of the greatest frontliners of all time that we have in the meta right now, and Xayah Rakan, a highly sought after duo. Whether it does go bottom or mid lane, it's probably going to go mid lane because everyone's so enthusiastic about that combo in the mid lane, being that they can clear super fast as far as getting through the jungle and getting back to the mid lane for those minions.
Just flying around, trying to see what's still up. That Morgana's banned, as I was thinking that could be one. We still have Vladimir up in the mix, and Altec enjoys his Vladimir. What are they going to pick here with a final? It will be Fang's support, and then we'll have TSM. Sven and Midi here, locking in whatever would be bot. Loving the Tom Kench in this composition coming from Midi, as TSM has played that quite a few times. Swain will be the first.
Yeah, probably a bottom lane Swain. As I'm thinking right now, it is going to be a Xayah in the mid / jungle there. And we may see a little bit of the river Rakan, but very well could be just a standard bottom lane. And send that Swain mid now that we do have the Trundle coming in. There we go. Looks like Grig will be able to apply Trundle Ultimate to the Galio, so when they do get to those team fights, shred them up a little bit. And it might be Sven back on the Xayah duty.
It made for a interesting second phase from Echo Fox. You see the Ashe getting banned. They say, well, yeah, we think, as you said, that Xayah is going mid. There's still a need to ban out the bot lane, but TSM had the chance to say, no, we'll run it an easy focus, and you're almost wasting a few bans with that one. 50 seconds left on the timer. I think both teams got relatively what they wanted as they get under the rift here.
And again, that's why we were so hyped about the flexibility of these early picks, because you can just still have it as a standard bottom lane there. Sven and Mithy, they'll get to try their hand, you know, at the old combo here. This is a super exciting matchup, though. Lucian and Braum, no slouch in the laning phase as well. And we may see the rush for the level 2, because both of these are definitely very powerful in the early game. You really do have to respect the feathers coming out of the Xayah Rakan, though. All right, and it is going to be the Gangplank and to Mundo topside that we have seen go both ways. Gangplank trying to also farm it out and scale up. But some pretty good outplays from Mundo players today so far, Riv.
We will have to see what can happen. A loss for TSM, a loss for Echo Fox yesterday. So both are looking to get themselves on the board. And it's going to be a tough one here. 4-3 as that third place match. Somebody's looking to break away, and somebody has to go away with a 0-2 week.
Nobody wants that. All right, a lot of pressure down. Remember, both of these teams are in that fight right now, around the third place spot. The North American LCS is wide open as far as who will represent us at Worlds. You know TSM felt left out, and they definitely want to get there.
Onto the Rift. TSM starting on that blue side for this one. The first pick for them was that Xayah Rakan lane that they were able to get, Rakan being the first, and we'll see if Mithy and Sven get a little bit of attention from Greg. We do have those standard lanes going up, so we'll have to see if Altec and Fang want to get aggressive with that Lucian Braum lane, kind of that taster's choice to lock it down early and be aggressive.
I especially like invades. When you have a Braum on your team, you know, you're set up with a Graves here. It just seems like it would definitely benefit Echo Fox if they could get maybe a late invade, try and get a ward down on one of the buffs, or even you know, try and bully early on to allow Dardoch to get a very nice opening to the game and try and have some early influence. Because as you said, the bottom lane could be very volatile. You know, Braum passive always brings up the chance for kills, with Lucian being able to proc the passive so quickly with the double shot.
And a thing Huni has as well this game, even if he does find attention, a little bit of that global so he can activate other parts of the map and possibly pick up some assists while he can stay in his own lane.
Yeah, and plus the thing here, with putting Huni on Gangplank, Gangplank is not a guy that's going to try and shove you in early at your tower and lane bully you. Nice sweeper here from Dardoch. They actually get both those wards. So that is a token amount of money, but what the real bonus there is the experience boost that he's going to have. And that is super big for Graves, because the way that Graves works here in the jungle, with the slightest of leads, he can clear so effortlessly, losing 0 HP because of the knockback of his autos, that you have full freedom of the map if you get any sort of little advantage.
And you're seeing it right there. A lot of people say, like, how do you do that? How do you do this? Well, you got a 101 on it right there.
That was kind of the smooth animations that we were talking about when you're seeing guys that are very practiced on it. Also, low ping certainly helps with Graves. And these guys being on lane right now should be able to get that no problem. All right, so we did have a buff-to-buff route here from Grig on the Trundle, because he wants to secure both of them before Dardoch starts getting aggressive. Whereas Dardoch, red side only here, into the Scuttle Crab control, and does go right over the ward here for TSM, but there's a possibility of them running, you know, scuttle to scuttle, and finding out that Trundle has not been able to get the other one yet. Dardoch might be able to find him.
Slowly moving around. Definitely has that trail on the wolf, so they'll be able to figure out that he's there. Ooh, just denying a bit of vision. Oh, last shot. Well, it comes through. Nice job on the smoke screen, and Dardoch's going to be able to skirt out of this one as DeMonte had the lane nice and pushed up, making this easy. Yeah.
Plus Huni that we were talking about on the Gangplank, as Dardoch should go scuttle to scuttle now that they've bullied out the Trundle. The Gangplank, he already got a sly sack of gold. I saw in the inventory there, so he's farming up very well against the Mundo. And since Dardoch was able to bully Grig, the Trundle, off of this top side, it allows Huni to play this style. And we've been talking about Huni's been pushing up, and he gets ganked at the 3-minute mark and dies to it every time, it feels like, in summer. But the preventative measures there, Riv, have been laid down, and Dardoch's been able to secure Huni the early lane phase.
A little bit more gold slipping into his pocket as well as that Kleptomancy plays in his favor.
Another one.
It's going to be easy rolling in the top lane as he banks it in. Looks like they get a ward in, pushing back Haunter, forcing that teleport out. Haunter stays, thinking Huni would back, so they're just toying with each other right now. Eyes still on Dardoch as he makes his way around the jungle. He hasn't been able to break out of that just yet, as the lanes are back and forth and just not yet in favor for a gank.
Yeah, Dardoch's super happy here. Been able to power clear through most of the map. Whenever you start out with both Scuttle Crabs for a jungler, and you have the, oh, here we go, bottom side though.
Grand entrance in. Alltech taking quite a bit of damage, down to 300. They changed their mind, seeing Frozen Domain come down quite early from Grig. Yep,
Grig's gonna make his way into lane there, protecting kind of the power here for TSM, the dire con that they want to play off of and funnel a lot of their resources into. You can already see Sven, nice CS lead here as they pushed up the extra minion wave. And he'll retain a little bit of that as Alltech is able to clear them out, and the teleports start to come back from the bottom lane. There actually is a heal on Alltech. Interesting here. So we'll have distinct recalls, and TSM can keep up that pressure with Sven being able to push this extra wave into the turret. So won't be able to actually catch up with the rest of that CS there for Echo Fox.
Luckily, everything's on the top side here for Fang, so he can stay to absorb some of this experience. See back into the mid lane, 36 to 36, as these two are all even. They're just needing a few more levels to keep these minions out from under the turret. As Demonte has a bit of that push pressure with Winds of War. Still trying to get the vision out. We'll see backs from them, and now Echo Fox start to activate once more.
Yeah, they're going towards Huni here, actually. No level 6s in on the game yet. But they've got 3 members up here and should be able to do it.
Huni instantly walks behind him, so Haunter does not have an escape just before the level 6 comes through. They take down Haunter for first blood. Bjergsen with the teleport in just short on the never move on Dardoch.
Echo Fox get off to a very quick start here. No level 6 is required. They don't need the globals coming in, and they jumpstart this game. First blood is going to just shoot them across the map. Now they have Galio ultimate available and Gangplank available to try and make a play bottom side if they want to actually control both sides of the map. Here's the tower aggro though. Huni able to take that extra shot and just barely heal up enough. Bjergsen's teleport coming in does force that flash off of Dardoch, which might dissuade him from going too aggressive, but this is a lot of momentum for Echo Fox considering they're the team with the double global ultimates that they just got on those level 6.
They'll pick up a little bit of bot vision here as Echo Fox feels like they have control of the map and they want to spread that around. Let's bring that now to the bottom side. See if Alltech and Fang can get a bit more pressure as they only fall behind a few CS, still very much in range of being able to take over the lane.
Yeah, and now Grig is faced with a situation here as the Trundle where it's level 6 Graves already. He's got way more money than you. He's going to start to invade you. Whenever Graves finds you, at a buff like this, not only does he have the extra level for a possible outsmite, doesn't even have to
the
there.
burst is there so big too.
Exactly, but he has that range advantage. So if he finds you, he just gets a couple shots off, slowly whittles you down, slows down your jungle, harasses you, and it really takes away from the agency of the TSM jungler here. So all the lanes now from TSM kind of have to keep that in the back of their minds where they're not going to get support, but Dardoch could always be in the wings trying to turn the tides of their matchup.
Quick entrance in the middle, taunted down onto Bjergsen. He's going to get out of this one safe, but has to throw the ultimate on, as bot lane also went for a bit of back and forth action across the map.
Yep, and Bjergsen, he does have phase rush, so he's able to dodge out of that one, but the ultimate cooldown for Swain is so much longer than it used to be, before the rework, and just blowing that cooldown does give Echo Fox a big opening here. Now they don't know they can invade, and if Bjergsen joins, it's not going to be with a lot of power.
Multiple times now, Echo Fox inside the top portion of TSM's jungle and not allowing Grig to get much of anything. 55 to 38 just between Dardoch and Grig, and the buffs are always going to Dardoch.
This is that aggressive style here for Echo Fox, and it paid off because they had Okay, because they had the execution on their early plays
man, he has
to
this
back it
number.
up. Dardoch feels so much more at home here on these invading junglers, and he's going to be able to keep up this advantage. No camps here are available for Grig, so not too many options for him to go with.
He has to ward it. He just got his wolves back, and they have to pull Bjergsen out of lane.
Galio ult.
TSM saying we have to start doing something to prevent this pressure. Haunter's now coming in, and Dardoch getting a little deeper than he wanted to on this. Double buff maybe to Haunter. Yes, he picks it up right as the turret hits.
All right, a little bit too aggressive there, Riv, as they had the double globals, and you think, all right, they're just going to have the Galio ult come in, Gangplank ult come in, and back up this invade. But Dardoch takes a lot of damage there. They never fire off the Galio ultimate. They never have the full collapse, and TSM are able to get a lot of important gold back for themselves, taking down the jungler here, and more importantly, some time back for themselves, because Dardoch was really being oppressive there in the jungle.
Yeah.
Counter jungling Grig, not allowing him to get really any sort of game plan off of the jungle here. So even though they're still behind, 1,000 gold, very good there for Echo Fox. That was much needed, a little bit of breathing room for TSM.
Called the bluff, and they were correct. We'll see it here again as Dardoch continued to pressure Grig's jungle.
All right, so Damonte is there, and that is close enough range where you can move over and get your Galio ult off, but he goes above the river wall there, so it looks like after that little exchange, Grig able to get the burst damage and press the attack there on him. They're like, okay, that's too deep. We're a little bit too late, and they just let the one kill go over.
Like all that work for those buffs for nothing. Just 1,000 gold lead, as we said. It's still in favor of Fox, 1-1 as those kills traded back and forth. Eventually, Dardoch returns to the jungle. Bot lane crashing in, that teleport affecting the CS a bit. 105 to 90 as Altec can't get back to lane as quick. But they'll use this time to get a few wards down and try and recontrol the river. Fang's gonna miss that one, and that's gonna provide some good information for TSM.
All right, Echo Fox should be able to finish.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to act on it.
Dragon here. It looks like we have a little bit of a visit there mid from Mithy, but seen on the ward, so Damonte just backs right off.
TSM's also a team to be okay with letting early dragons go, especially some Cloud Drakes, Ocean Drakes. Defense back to bot. Altec trying to be just oppressive in that bot side with Fang as they return together, but Grig is just behind them. We'll see how deep they go. Just rotating off for now. Seems like nobody wants to make a move. They're saying, we're getting a few item spikes. Nobody has a core item just yet. And they don't want to be the problem, or the reason a first turret goes down. Unbreakable for Fang as they test the waters in the bot lane.
The bottom lane, too, for Echo Fox has usually been the story. All right, let's take a look here at the Rift Trail finish, though. TSM trying to contest.
Damonte not liking the position he's being in. Sometimes you think you're the one taunting them and you become the taunted. Getting in there, Bjergsen is not able to get the kill down. Rift Trail goes over to Dardoch and all the commotion.
That's right. So Dardoch decides to finish the Rift Trail. Damonte flashing out, and the ultimate from Huni on Gangplank, getting him some space. So those aren't a decent amount of cooldowns used for the Rift Trail, but I think that was definitely worth it for Echo Fox. Nice yank in there from Bjergsen. You want to be able to stack up those soul shards. You can see the little red things under the Swain's name right there. Adds so much more threat to your ultimate. Can't really team fight if you don't stack those ones up first.
It's either a boom or a bada boom. You want the bada boom.
Definitely.
Fang shields a little off, so he skirts himself against the wall to not take too much damage. But now that Mithy is in and out, and really has a pretty good shield off of those Fae Feathers passive, he can get in without too much trouble. They're going to back off for the time being. Really quiet after the beginning of a game. It seems like Echo Fox kind of knew they stepped a little too far forward, and with Dardoch going down, they lost so much more.
It was funny because after, you know, Dardoch died in the jungle there, he immediately was like, all right, I'm going to go for the PvE objectives now. He takes Dragon right up, and then he immediately takes Rift Trail too. But that is still being super proactive and making, you know, aggressive plays. They're just in the middle of the map in neutral territory rather than going for the super deep invade. And it's a good kind of alteration there as far as the strategy goes, because obviously the last time when he was very deep in the jungle and Damonte kind of took the route through the river rather than up by the tower, they, you know, a moment of being out of sync like that can give over kills and really snowball the game back away, because if you give this TSM composition some money, they're just looking for the front-to-back fight, right? They have great tanks. They have Trundle for shredding and the classic AD carry there. Xayah now with first item completed in the Storm Razor for that first on-hit crit.
Their composition is kind of just to walk at you. We'll see how they can defend this turret with really Haunter coming down a little slow on the top. He may stay up there. Rift Herald with a beautiful shot, about 10% HP on this turret, and it will go down. They will not follow for second shot, but Echo Fox opens up the middle of the map. Yep,
they get a little bit of chip damage here, but I'm always a little bit disappointed. You know, a little part of me dies inside when they don't continue protecting the Rift Herald and charge down multiple charges on the next turret. Just if you can be in position with that many people to not allow them to get an attack off on the eyeball, you can really heavily damage the secondary turret, sometimes even take 2 turrets at once. However, Echo Fox needed to reset here to get back out to their side lanes and allow for those purchases so they don't let TSM gain any sort of momentum on the other side of the map.
Sign me up for the second turret comp, Kobe.
Yeah.
I'm in there.
Just stick around, make that charge all the way through.
Team stick around. Coming up on 15 minutes. Just that one turret right now, but good global gold for Echo Fox. We see the Triforce coming through now. The Rod of Ages finished along with the Blade of the Rune King. So up against the Storm Razor on the other side.
4 members here for TSM bottom side. I think they want to be able to get the turret. Top side though, Huni.
Very close to going down for Haunter. Gets the ultimate on. He's good to go as Haunter gets himself out of cannon barrage. TSM just slowly letting this turret whittle down to see if they can find a fight from Echo Fox countering, but nothing goes down. A minute and a half on that Infernal Drake to come up though.
Yep, Sven and Mithy there on the bottom side, slowly work down that turret. Echo Fox here and Huni should be able to trade on the top side though, because there was so much focus top side early on from Echo Fox. Demonte and Dardoch putting a lot of pressure there, and Huni is able to get the turret. He's ahead in gold. He's on Gangplank, you know, a carry, a damage dealer, and Trinity Force has been completed. So this is much more comfort zone for him than we've seen recently. Uh-oh.
Coming in, Mithy could get that defense back to Huni, but he gets the charm on. He removes Scurvy, removes the charm, and Dardoch is now in the frying pan. He goes down as Echo Fox once again feels like they're more ahead than they are.
Good collapse there from TSM to slap Dardoch's hand while he's got it in the cookie jar once again, and they're able to get a second kill onto the Graves. But this is Red Buff and Huni trying to get some alone time there, 2v1 with Haunter, but they don't account for the rest of the members on the team. Look at the mini-map for this whole replay. All other members of Echo Fox were in the base, and it's Huni and Dardoch making a play by themselves on the top side of the map, deep in TSM territory. So once again, that has been the classic conversation around this team, where it feels like a Huni and Dardoch team. Well, that's because the rest of the guys are, you know, in the fountain while they're creating plays.
Sven having to flash as well during that replay of an altercation. So he will not have that. Featherstorm will be necessary for a next fight. 2-1 here coming up on 17 minutes. TSM is saying, yeah, the Infernal Drake means a little bit more. That first Cloud Drake wasn't really on the menu, but this one will try to...
Oh, look at Xayah. Speaking of Xayah, Sven is on the outside of the map.
Be there.
So Echo Fox do have... Oh, TP is coming in.
Just a little below the river. Will they have enough time? 2,000 health onto the Drake. Smite from Grig is there as well, and it is going to be coming in from TSM. They try to disperse out of the fight. Haunter puts himself on the top side, but gets the safety, and it looks like TSM will disengage.
Ooh, TSM happy to get that Infernal Drake, put that one away for later, and start to scale up. Grig was able to stick around right next to the Dragon, combos his Smite with the Bite right there for him, and you got to talk about this guy as far as TSM and bringing in the junglers. He has been able to win so many Smite fights, stealing multiple Barons for this squad. So he definitely has at least this aspect under control. Let's take another look at it. TSM move up. There's the teleport from Sven. And even with the Gangplank ult coming down to zone off the team, Grig stays in there. He makes sure he gets the execute on the Infernal Drake and then flashes out the back.
Really feels good in those tense situations. You remember the Griggy Smite in the TSM C9 game?
I was there with you, bud.
Yeah, that's right. Him and Mithy came in, and he spit him out, instantly taking that Baron, ultimately winning TSM the game. We'll see if it can come up big here. Calling down the smite from the gods. Been in favor of Greg lately. 1-0-1. Really pressured in his jungle, but keeping it in the game for TSM here and recognizing Dardoch's pressure top. We'll see where they can go from here. 28.7 to 32.2. Definitely still in favor of Echo Fox kind of starting these fights, but TSM has been able to use that fight prowess, organizing themselves around it to take what they want.
Yeah, and we have an early Grievous Wounds here. Huni's been able to upgrade already to the full Mortal Reminder.
Whoa.
And you can see there's a lot of armor that has been stacked. We talked about the tanks on TSM's side. And Huni with second item Mortal Reminder, you know, his barrels are going to be able to apply the Grievous Wounds as well as shredding through a lot of that armor. So we might even just see him, you know, going for those frontline chains. Obviously, you would love to get a backline barrel chain onto the Xayah, but if all else fails, he can significantly chunk through a lot of this tank line as well. We'll have to see how that does work out for them.
This is also Huni's first play of that gangplank this season. In bot lane, he's actually under the turret, taking quite a bit of damage. Got to be careful of trial by fire as well as extra damage. But he has used fire at will for the ultimate. Considering these fights will stay in a spot for a longer time, fire at will increases the attack speed for a cannon barrage over the period of time. So with Haunter and Bjergsen wanting to stay there and just be a death ball, that might provide a lot of damage for Echo Fox.
Yeah, it's always such a good combo too with the Galio ultimate if they can actually land it.
Perfect.
Definitely love that one. Defense on the top side for Echo Fox does hold as bottom side they focus down the turret. So now 3 turrets for themselves. All the outers have been taken away. And this is the moment of truth, Riv, because TSM has the defensive side here. They're trying to hold, but they don't have as much defense now to work around with all the turrets down. So they have to worry about people getting caught out. Again, the double globals of Gangplank and Galio, they really have to keep an eye out as far as their positioning.
So what is next on the board? Low kills in the game where there's actually been quite a bit of back and forth. It's just each team, as I said, able to get that Drake back out, maybe a kill top, back out, not much more. Even Echo Fox on the Rift Herald, 1 turret was good enough. They didn't want to push it that much further. 3-1 in turrets though means they can start getting the vision in, creating shorter paths between each lane. Means there's a lot more pressure for TSM to deal with. A quick try for the hit onto mid, but he gets the safety.
All right. Echo Fox currently pushing all the side lanes up. Top lane has been taken care of by Sven, but the jungle is under attack.
Ignite is down right away. Demonte looking to get close. Taunt just out of range as he doesn't get it to connect. Oh, Mithy comes in with a grand entrance, and it's going to be the charm. Is the quickness enough? Bjergsen has his eyes on Demonte, flashes over the wall with him. Zanyas goes down, and he's ready to activate the R2. It's not enough. Now Bjergsen has to go gold, and it's pretty, but is it enough? 1-for-1 as the fight starts, and Echo Fox is now trying to retreat. They turn with Thang's shield up, and Dardoch looks for shots as TSM is huffing in the cleavers.
Double KO here, both mid laners down, but Echo Fox still pressing and should be able to get the turret.
Definitely going to have it, being able to put the barrels forward, pushing TSM back. There just wasn't enough defense, and Echo Fox come out on top of the mid-game fight.
They still have the pressure on the map too. Health advantage means that they get to get the Scuttle Crab by Baron, where the vision becoming extremely important. You know, the damage now in the game skyrocketing here, and both teams, if they got an amount of control enough, they would be able to burn down this Baron pretty quickly. Hear it all this
again. Even after using Glacial Fissure, they say more. We want more. Go, Ignite.
Yeah, at the beginning of this, it looks like Echo Fox used a lot of resources here on the Trundle. Double ultimates, they use the Ignite, they chase him through, and then TSM do get a decent collapse here. Demonte finds it out by the wall next to Huni, so when Bjergsen follows him for the flash, he immediately starts to get focused down, has to use his stopwatch as well, and that baits Demonte to go back in. And they both get executed.
Just missed time.
Yeah. Then we think, okay, so Haunter with the ultimate rolling there on Mundo could provide frontline, but a lot of their DPS was forced off of the fight.
Good calling there, right on the Sven. Furling? Ruffling his feathers. There's the word I wanted. Just a bit of vision control here as Echo Fox gets themselves back out after a bit of a bye. There's Zanya's in there. Monte Black Cleaver for Altec, as he's going to be looking to just shred people down as Huni starts going Steric's way.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the tanks and the power of all these tanks, but There are 2 Black Cleavers, the fully completed Mortal Reminder from Huni, plus the Blade of the Ruin King from Altec on Lucian, especially with the double tap. It's a lot of percentage health damage, so it's actually going to be a split map right now. TSM 3 members top side. They're going to trade the Cloud Drake for some gold for themselves, as they do take that much needed outer tower. Echo Fox, though, they're not going to let it get away with just that being the trade.
Yeah, they say, okay. Anybody mid? It is Bjergsen. They say, dang it, we can't get any further here. Seeing Baron up, as well as a Drake spawning soon. Could be a problem. Mithy missing out of that one as he gets himself quickly shielded up.
Yeah, 2 ultimates used here from Echo Fox. They definitely have a little bit itchy trigger finger, as soon as they see someone out, they're just willing to throw everything at them. But again, that does give them control over the Baron to clear out the vision here, and that's becoming extremely important. They actually missed quite a few of the wards there with the Scryer's Bloom, so TSM feel pretty confident that they aren't sneaking Baron. And even though there is this big gold lead for Echo Fox, they know if they mess up one of these fights chasing into the jungle or something, then it would swing right back towards TSM's favor. And again, these 2 teams tied at 4 and 3, both with their eyes on representing North America at Worlds. These games are extremely important to getting them to the playoff spot, making sure that they have that chance to be these representatives.
And we see them both kind of going back to that standard style of play after having a little bit of trouble with the amount of variety and difference both teams have brought to the table. So here trying to find that ground and be back to that position where they can be a world contender. Right now, we see bot lane getting pushed out, mid lane getting pushed out as TSM resets on the map. Something TSM has always been good at doing is slowly stalling it out, getting to that 35-minute fight, having enough, and just being able to use their mechanics in that fight to overcome.
Definitely true. And you have to keep your eyes on Mithy as well. Rakan with ultimate available could go for a quick engage. Just going to zone him off the minion wave here.
Glacial Fissure just coming back up, so we'll watch Fang for that initiation. Cannon Barrage could go down to the back line after that. Watching Mithy as well on the side of TSM for a quick battle dance or entrance.
And I think if you're looking at it from TSM side here, down a significant amount of gold, they still would like to farm it out until Sven can get his Infinity Edge completed. Once they get the Infinity Edge completed and the true damage crits coming through from Sven on the Xayah, that would give them so much more teamfight power. But they need to get him that gold somehow, and they're trying to kind of mine the map right now and open up a spot for him to finish that off.
Haunter sitting with 2,000 gold in his pocket currently, 1,300 for both Huni and Altac. So the situation of the game has kept everybody on the rift, continuously farming. There isn't a time to actually go back and get a moment to breathe here as a bit of push is going down. Seems like Mithy will do that, however, with TSM in a ball on that mid lane. We'll see what they can produce after he comes back out.
Okay.
It looks like he finished up his Zeeks.
Zeeks will also go a long way in empowering Sven to be that DPS output. We'll see, though, because Echo Fox do have a lot of dive available to them. Trying to clear out some more of the vision. Once again, on that ramp up to the Baron, laying down the control wards here.
Want some commitment. Let's see some full commitment coming into these fights. Everybody's just playing very touch and go, knowing one mistake here is going to be an entire lane and probably the inhibitor following up. It gets very tense at these moments. Knight's Vow coming in for Fang as they start to be able to give some resources out. He still has the ability to use his stopwatch. Just looking around for any other core buys here. It is up to 1,000 gold for Sven, so he's got a little bit more to go. That another BF sword and then he can finish.
Yeah, still pretty significant ways then. And
yeah, absolutely.
TSM are going to feel the pressure for the next couple of minutes. So let's see if Echo Fox can take advantage of that.
That's the goal, right? Not slowing down. Can't be lackadaisical. looks like Huni says, all right, can't be lackadaisical, let's fight. Wait a minute, I didn't want all that damage. More members though. TSM knows they're coming down, so they're gonna be communicating this to Hanser. He throws down the ultimate, but Huni does. No, I'm sorry, that's Damonte coming in as well. Mithy goes in, but the charm not really hitting anybody as he has to get himself back to safety. Damonte's into the middle as Bjergsen has to throw it on the ultimate, and instantly Damonte gets deleted as the feathers are torn through him. Fang very low, Ignite is ticking down, but he will live. Hanser is the defense, but the TSM cannot provide the offense. And Dardoch's gonna be able to come up with a kill. His GA is on, and that's why TSM cannot turn to the fight.
Oh, such a close fight there, even with TSM down 6,000 gold, inches away from getting that extra kill. Echo Fox, though, are able to take control of the map, and Baron is available. Ping's already coming down for them to rush over to it. What a significant victory there in that team fight. Echo Fox now will have a huge reward to go for. TSM know that it's so big, though. Sven teleports in to try and stop them.
Could be big. So that's a rapid fire shot for himself. Doesn't want to put too much in. They're actually getting teleported on just to the left. Damonte is going to be able to put up a huge front here. Greg trying to get just in range. This is what we've been praising him about. His flash is up, but he's Huni. 1v1. Fang comes in to help. Sven and Mithy now looking towards the Baron. It goes down in favor of Echo Fox. Hanser teleports in. They want the resulting fight from Baron, feeling the cooldowns for Echo Fox aren't there. And now Hanser is actually going to not be able to help Mithy as he goes down. And Echo Fox make it out with Baron.
Oh, you could tell how close they felt that one was. Echo Fox being able to finish up the Baron, though. Mithy wanted some kills to try and take some of those Baron buffs off. Ends up, though, he has no backup from the team. Goes in, dies by himself. Here's how it all started. Echo Fox jump onto Hanser, the main tank, and they actually use the Galio ult there on just the Mundo, and him flashing out gives a huge opening for TSM because that big zoning ultimate was used so early. Then Sven flashes back on the Xayah. He gets the pullback through. They kill the Galio, but Dardoch finishes off the Swain here, along with Huni firing off the parlay on Gangplank, barely surviving there with 50 HP. So Echo Fox on the edge, still able to come out with the victory, and now they've got Baron buff to push with.
You know that's how they like to play it. Oh, on the edge. Look at the damage coming out, and that means these fights are going quite long. Gangplank's obviously do a bit of damage, but he's got to get a few barrels out to be doing 5,700, as well as Hanser staying in the fight. So we'll see how well they can stand toe-to-toe as the next fight comes about here at this top inhibitor. 31 minutes in, 5-4, and it's just about a 10,000 gold lead, so Echo Fox feel really good to pressure. Hanser trying to get a fight on Damonte, but he has the heroic charge into the fight, and now Dardoch is coming back up from the GA. Sven Storm keeps him alive as he just gets back to safety, but collateral damage drops him as he hits the ground.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was a bad start for Echo Fox. Huni actually gets pulled in.
Not in a great spot, removes Scurzy, gets himself to safety, and now it's going to be Hanser going down. Echo Fox are staying for the long haul, and they're looking for the Nexus. 50 seconds onto Hanser. No minions. Yeah, they do have a siege minion actually just behind this turret, not in range to help the armor, which is hurting them, so they need the melees. Now they're onto the turrets, and it is going to be Huni tanking it up. Grig looking for a target. Who's the priority? What would be the best to take down? But Echo Fox are able to lock down TSM and knock down TSM, moving on to 5-3. At 10-4, Echo Fox take down TSM.
Big improvements for Echo Fox after the play yesterday. Huni on the Gangplank looks so comfortable. Dardoch invading with the Graves to give them the early advantage. And they never really lost momentum. Some kills given over there off of the invades and TSM getting some back for themselves, but for the most part, good snowball there from Echo Fox, keeping up the pressure.
Kind of wondered where the initiation would come from. It was really just Huni walking up. It was interesting. There was a lot of a stall there, or a lot of stall that the team saw, and it was Echo Fox going bot lane and kind of forcing that fight. And to their luck, it was TSM being out of position and not able to really coordinate on it.
Huni didn't die a single time in the entire game, despite getting down to about 40 health there in a couple of instances.
Woo.
Still playing on the edge. He still has the killer instinct.
Heck yeah. As that first GP of the split, got to feel good. Gonna have to ban it away from him now, right? It's a solid ban against Huni once you figure that out. It had been a lot of Mundo, Renekton, Rumble, Yasuo, everything that he could throw at the board saying it was his meta. He's got to be feeling good after this game with that little bit of a slump previously. So to hear from the pros that picked up the win, let's send it over to Avali and Echo Fox's Outlaw in the jungle.